those are not the sales I want to make, but sometimes those are the sales you have to make in order to get better ones. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new here, welcome! My name is Veronika. I'm a part-time reseller. I sell mostly on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Depop, and I specialize in women's fashion, pre-owned fashion, and I do this so that I can support myself and my child and pay my bills, really, in addition to my income from my full-time job. But I also do it because I want to keep clothing and shoes and such out of landfills and keep them in the rotation, because let's face it, we all have too much stuff as it is. We don't need more new stuff, and I think it's really important to be aware of that and contribute to keeping clothing in the rotation longer, especially when you can get them from the bins where they're really cheap and oftentimes still in really good shape. So what I do is I go to thrift stores, I go to the bins, the Goodwill outlet, or I order boxes from ThredUp and I look through the items. I list most of them for sale on my platforms, and that way I can support myself a little bit better, and I can also give these clothes a new life. Today we're going to talk more about the business aspect of this whole endeavor. We're going to talk about what sold for me on these various platforms that I sell on in the month of January 2023. So first month of the year, we're going to see how strong I started off this year. If you've been here for a while, if you've seen any of my videos, you probably heard me talk about last year being very difficult in terms of sales and otherwise. So I filmed a few recap videos where I talked a little bit about how much or how little, at least for my expectations, I made in the past year, and I'm really hoping that this year will be better. I'm hoping I can put a little bit more effort into my business. I'm working on that currently by listing more frequently, just staying more consistent. But I also hope that the economy recovers, honestly. And who knows? That's beyond my control. But I want to be able to put in what I can to control the things I can control and control those aspects of my small business. Again, I do have a full-time job, so my time is limited. So let's jump right into these sales. So my first item that sold for me on January 1st on Poshmark was an item that is not a great brand. I got it in a Goodwill Blue box, I want to say. And I think what I did on January 1st, and I vaguely remember this, I think I just sent out a bunch of really low offers, like 50, 60% off on over 100 items in my closet, just to get things moving and going. And so this is what happened here. So I sold this Shein little knit crop top, long sleeve top for $7 on Poshmark, and that was with a shipping discount. So really my profit after cost and goods and everything is 33 cents. That's not good, and that's not why we're doing that, and that's not how I want to start off the year, but it's out of my house. And one thing that I'm doing currently is getting rid of some inventory that no longer serves me. I filmed a video where I packed up some boxes for ThredUp, still need to ship those. But this was something like that where I was just like, let's just send an offer and get this out of my house. And a lot of times I will say, and you might hear other people say that as well, sales beget sales. So you make 1-2 sales and other people will start buying from your closet. I don't know how exactly that works with the algorithm, but it works a lot of times. Another item that falls under the same category that I sold because I was running this massive sale was this White House Black Market little blouse top. I did not pick this up myself. I did not choose this, but I received it in a ThredUp box, and this was actually in the scrap fabric box. I think they renamed it since. I forgot what it's called, like DIY fabric or something like that. But I actually had really good luck with this box. I thought I got some really good pieces. This one sold for $12, also with a shipping discount, and I made $4.33. So a little bit better than the Shein top. And I didn't have it for that long. I just didn't want to look at it anymore and send an offer. Another item that I did have for a really long time, and I thought it was so cute, and I picked it up when I thought Topshop sells well. It does not. It also does not sell for much. So I sent an offer on this Topshop sort of mustard yellow off-the-shoulder little romper. Very, very adorable. And this sold for $12, offered to Liker. I got this from the bins a million years ago, so I actually make $6.33 on it. Again, those are not the sales I want to make, but sometimes those are the sales you have to make in order to get better ones. I also sent out an offer on this Columbia pair of shorts. This sold for $8, and I make a profit of $1.33. Again, not a lot. After Poshmark fees and cost of goods and such, there's really not much left over. And all of these items so far sold on Poshmark on that sale. Next up, we have a decent sale, okay? A decent sale on Poshmark. This Pamela McCoy collection. Weird little cheetah sweater, vintage sweater. It was embellished. It was just wild. In a size large. Somebody offered me $23 on Poshmark, and I accepted. And I didn't have any shipping expenses because it's sold on Poshmark, and somebody sent me an offer, and I make a profit of $16.40. This came from a Goodwill Blue Box, and my cost of goods was about $2 per item on that one. I think it was one of those where they had a deal where you would buy one and get one half off or something. So my cost of goods was really good on those items. I'm still a little bit under the weather, so if my voice doesn't sound great, I apologize. We're just gonna roll with it. The next item that sold was this Ava and Viv heather gray long sleeve top, kind of like a dolman sleeve. This also came from my scrap fabric box, so not a bad box. I would definitely check that out again. This Ava and Viv is just a Target brand, plus size Target brand. This sold for $15. That was an offer I sent out, and I make a profit of $9.17 on that one. It was I think a 4X, yes, a 4X, so that's a good size to sell. And I will say with those sizes, the larger plus sizes, I wouldn't say brand does not matter, but brand might be less important as opposed to style and such and availability. Next up, I sold this J-Jill Pure Jill kimono sweater. I think I had this relisted, and then it sold not too long ago. So this sold for $26. I sent an offer, and I make a profit of $17.58. I had $1.50 into that because it came from the bins. I think I picked this up back in Virginia, so I had it for a while, definitely. But happy that that sold. J-Jill and Pure Jill and whatever other Jill variations is one of my favorite bread and butter brands to sell, so very happy that this one went out. And this one sold on Poshmark as well. Also on Poshmark, I sold this J. Crew charcoal gray plaid little wrap skirt that also came from a thredUP box. It had some flaws on it, and unfortunately when the person received it, she didn't open a case, but she said it had a few more flaws than what I noted, and I felt really bad for that because I just overlooked them. I just didn't see them. But I hope she's still able to make it work. It sold for only $12, and I had a cost of goods of $2 on this, and I make $7.05. So far everything has been on Poshmark, and I will say Poshmark was, I think, my best performing platform that month. Poshmark used to by far outperform all my other platforms. It's evened out quite a bit in the last few months, but yeah, in that month Poshmark was my best performing platform. I have an eBay sale, so this Calvin Klein Performance sort of gray cozy robe, hooded robe. I picked this up from Dollar Day here in New Jersey. Every Sunday is Dollar Day. 2 colors are marked down to $1. And what I usually do when I do get the chance to go to Dollar Day, I will shop regular priced items too, but I try to go for at least 50-50 so that I have dollar items and then regular priced items, or ideally more dollar items than regular priced items, just so my average cost of goods comes down a little bit. That's what happened here. This one, my average cost of goods was actually $1.20. Did I get this from the bins? No, I didn't. And I made a profit of $11.80. It sold for $16. I forgot to mention that. That was an offer somebody sent me on eBay, and they were really happy with it. It was a plus size, so Calvin Klein Performance in a plus size usually does well. This was unusual for a performance piece because it is a very cozy, like, lounge robe. Almost kept it for myself, but I ended up selling it because it was a short robe, and I prefer them to be a little bit longer. The next piece to sell was this Anthony Richards reversible skirt, kind of like a vintage skirt. It was dark blue, navy blue, and then had this yellow sort of grid pattern on one side and a floral pattern on the other side. It was also a size 4X, and I picked this up way back when I still lived in Virginia. I thought because of the style and the size, it would sell, and it did eventually. It just sat for a really long time. Anthony Richards is not a vintage brand I usually pick up. I'm not super big on selling vintage anyway, but it sold for $27. That's an offer somebody sent me on Poshmark, and I make $18.60 because I had $3 into this from my honey hole back in Virginia. I think I may have picked this up when they had a sale on skirts, and that was the main reason why I was even looking at the skirts. Normally I avoid that section like the plague, but every once in a while you can find something cute in there, and I think I found a few skirts in there that actually sold really well for me. Then I made a really good sale because this was an item that was barely listed for more than 3 days. Yeah, I listed it on the 2nd of January and it sold on the 5th on Poshmark. And this was this pair of Jojo Siwa black and purple like star quilted boots. I showed this in a haul video. My selling price for this was $25, and after cost of goods and marketplace fees and all of that and shipping expenses, because I sent an offer, I make $16.28 on this. And I think I mentioned this, but it came from the bins, so very happy with the sale. It flipped really fast, and I wasn't really sure about this, but they were in really good shape and really cute. So with kids items, that's often a good selling factor, especially if they're seasonal. I list all seasons all year round, but with kids items, I find that especially in the winter, a lot of parents, they just panic because all of a sudden they realize they don't have proper clothing for their children. And I'm one of those parents, so I know what it's like. So I don't know if that happened here, but either way, I made a pretty good sale out of it. Then I sold another item I also had for a while that came from I want to say a Goodwill Blue Box. This was an item that also sold on Poshmark as Zach and Rachel, kind of like salmon orangey little blouse. It sold for $17 on an offer to likers, and I make $9.38 in profit on that one. Okay, we're about 5-6 days into January so far, just in case you're wondering. This next item also came from my scrap fabric box, and it was just a Secret Treasures, which is a sleepwear brand that sold at Walmart, so not great. Very fluffy though, open front little lounge cardigan in this dark purple. It was very cute. I think it was a size small, yeah, size 4 to 6. And so I just listed it for, I think I listed it for $15. I knew I wasn't gonna get 15, and somebody on eBay sent me an offer and a message and said, hey, I got this from Walmart and I only paid $10 for it new, you know. I think that's fair. And I was like, you didn't even have to message me all of that. I would have let it go for 10. I probably would have let it go for 7 if we're going to be honest. So I sold it for 10 on eBay, and I make just about $5 because my average cost of goods on this box per item was $3. Marketplace fees are around $2. I promote everything I list on eBay. So with their 12 point whatever % fee plus the promoted listing, I just put in 20%, just like I would on Poshmark, for my selling fees, at least for the purpose of doing these what's sold videos. Let's just keep it simple. My next sale, another skirt. This one came from a ThredUp box though as well. If you're wondering why I have so much stuff from ThredUp boxes, then just take a good look at my channel. I do a lot of ThredUp unboxings. I've been good so far this year. I've only ordered 1 box, but I'm a little bit of a ThredUp addict. But so far, in the grand scheme of things, ThredUp has served me well. There are bumps in the road, I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you look at my video, one of my recap videos from the end of last year where I talked about my relationship with ThredUp, my business relationship, and how much I spend on there versus how much I made on there, then you'll see that it's actually a pretty vital part of my business. So this skirt came from a ThredUp box. It was a New York company, striped like white and aqua, and I think there was like a little bit of orange or something in there. Yeah. Circle skirt with pockets in a size 10. I don't think I relisted that. No, that just randomly sold. On eBay. On eBay, what I do is as soon as I have a watcher on an item, I will send an offer and I'll check that little box that says, you know, send the same offer to any new watchers. And I think this is what happened here because it sold for $12.99, which is my offer price. My offer prices all end in 99 cents. My listing prices are all just even numbers. I know people don't do that on eBay, but I do because I just can't be bothered to change it. So it sold for $12.99. I had about $2 into it and I make a profit of $8.99. Which is not bad for an item I probably would not have picked up at the thrift. Definitely not at the thrift, maybe at the bins. The next sale was an item that was a relist success. I love these when I actually relist something and it sells shortly thereafter. And that's why we relist and relax every other Thursday on my channel. I have a live show. If you want to check it out, you should. I'll link the next one up above. This Inhabit cashmere blend, linen cashmere blend sweater in this oatmeal color with colorful stripes sold on Poshmark for $25. I initially wanted more for it, but when I realized people don't know about this brand or don't want to pay up for it, I dropped the price a little bit, and I think this was actually an offer somebody sent me. So I make $17 on this. It came from a regular thrift store back in Virginia. So I've had it for a while. Whenever I say back in Virginia, that was over a year ago. So just for reference. Unless, of course, we're talking about two of my most recent bins hauls when I went back to Virginia to pick things up. Anyway, why are you still talking, Veronica? Next up, I sold a soft surroundings grid cotton linen blend ruffle hem blouse. Just this like oatmeal color, very beige. This one I picked up on Poshmark to resell. Somebody was running a sale or like cleaning out their closet or something, and there were a few pieces that I thought, okay, yeah, this might be okay for reselling, but then there were also a few pieces for myself. So all in all, I think I paid $6 per item, which is more than I would normally pay for soft surroundings, and especially a plain piece like this. But it sold for $18, and I make a profit of $8.40. It took a while to sell, but you know, that's extra money in my pocket, and that was totally fine. I'm totally fine with that pickup. Next up was a Mercari sale. Yeah, she's in there as well. On Mercari, I sold this pair of Spanx, new with tags, look at me now, seamless cropped leggings. There was a little bit of back and forth with the buyer. She was offering me something. I didn't quite like it. I countered, she countered back, etc. But we ended up on $38 as the selling price. That's with free shipping, meaning that I will pay for shipping. So I usually price my items a little bit higher on Mercari, but Mercari's fees are also lower, so there's usually, you know, the same profit to be made, at least for me, compared to Poshmark and eBay. I made a profit of $25.23 on this. This was a pickup from Dollar Day, where I averaged out my cost of goods, and my average cost of goods that day was $2.70. Now we have two more Mercari sales, just like 3 Mercari sales back to back, and they just all happened within a day, and 2 of them even within half an hour of one another. And I was like, oh, look at your Mercari. You're waking up on January 7th for some reason. I sold this Athleta sports bra, the Embrace Longline sports bra in this cottage blue. Beautiful piece. If it had been my size, I would have kept that. It came from a ThredUp activewear box, my favorite kind of ThredUp box at this point. And they paid $29 for it, again with free shipping that I then paid for myself. So I make a profit of $17.49 after all fees, cost of goods, and all that good stuff. And then the next Mercari sale was this pair of pink Victoria's Secret dark green ribbed knit yoga pants. Also had not been listed for a very long time. I think I picked those up the same time as the Spanx, and they sold for $23. That was an offer I received, or a counter offer somebody sent after I had sent out an offer. And my profit on these after cost of goods and everything is $12.77. Now, all the profit numbers I'm giving you, that's after cost of goods, after shipping, after platform fees, it is before taxes. So I still have to pay taxes on these items next year. And that's all I want to say about tax season, honestly, because, ugh. Another sale that I made on Poshmark on an item that I had forever is this pair of Jag hot pink little board shorts, summer shorts. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the Barbie core now that finally sold them, but they sold for $14. That was an offer I sent, and I make a profit of $6.33. I think I picked these up from an actual thrift store, which I don't understand why. I guess I thought the brand was better than it actually is. But, you know, it's okay. I still made some money on these, and they didn't take up much space. And then another Mercari sale on an item that sold relatively quickly, within 2 weeks of listing. And this is a funny one because it was part of my haul that I filmed. Items that were just sitting in a bag in my upstairs like inventory / office space there, and I forgot about these items. I left them in the Goodwill bag, probably with the intention of filming a haul, and then never did, but they also never made it onto my rack to be steamed. So when I found this bag, I just found all this inventory, and I was like, what the heck, where did this come from? So it came from Dollar Day. I have absolutely no idea how much I paid that day and what my average cost of goods was, so I just put in $3 just to be on the safe side. But the item, I should probably tell you, that sold on Mercari was this like lavender, light purple, lilac, corduroy mini skirt with pockets by PacSun. Very cute. And this sold for $22, and I make a profit of about $10.67, give or take. Again, don't really know how much I paid for these items. And I'm pretty sure there were a few other items that also sold that also came from the same haul that are coming up here in a few minutes. Okay, then I sold, again, such a random sale, an H&M wool and acrylic blend sweater in these like earthy tones. So boring, so boring. Like boring, but not like cool boring, you know, like a grandpa sweater. I got this from, I think, a Goodwill Blue box or a ThredUp box, actually. I think it may have been a ThredUp box. I had about $2 into it, and it sold for 10, and I make $5.05. It's not something I would pick up at the thrift, but I'm also not mad that I listed it because that's $5 that will buy my kid almost a whole Happy Meal. Then I sold these Durango women's Western cowboy, whatever, cowgirl boots on Poshmark for $36. That was an offer I received, or maybe even a full price sale. I originally had these listed higher and I dropped the price, so I think somebody bought them full price. I had $2 into those because I picked them up from the bins back in Virginia last summer, I want to say, or spring. They sold for $36 and I make a profit of $26.80 on these. And I remember picking these up because somebody else threw them back, and I kept looking them over and over and over and over, thinking, you know, what is wrong with them? Like, what is wrong with these boots that this person put them back? Because I couldn't figure it out. But maybe she was just shopping for boots for herself and didn't like them. Like, not everybody's a reseller. I forget that at the bins especially. The next item that sold, this was a really good sale and I was so happy about it. An item that I picked up on Dollar Day, but again, average cost of goods was $3. This J. McLaughlin silk blend dress in this bright blue color with a floral print. Very, very pretty. It was in size medium, and this sold for $66, which was an offer to liker on Poshmark, and I make a profit of $48.08. I was ecstatic about this sale, and this was listed for less than a month. And it's such a summer dress, but it's sold in the middle of winter, so you just never know. Next, I sold a pair of Madewell jeans. Madewell jeans are kind of all over the place for me, but this one was actually a good sale. It also sold on Mercari. Somebody sent me an offer on these for $43. I probably had them listed for like $50. $43 with free shipping for them. So after all the fees and expenses, I make a profit of $26.59. Happy with that. I'm pretty sure I picked them up from a regular thrift store, maybe on Dollar Day. I have a cost of goods of $4 in here, so probably just a regular thrift store on a regular day. My next sale was on Poshmark, and it was this pair of Cuddle Duds, like dotted pajamas. It was a set in an extra large. It came from the bins. It was not in great shape, but I did pick it up because how often do you actually find a pajama set at the bins, you know, in an extra large? And it was not like in horrible shape, but it had washwear. Like you could see that this item had been worn and washed a lot. But somebody bought it for $20 and I make $13.78, and I'm not mad at that. Another sleeper item that also sold on Poshmark, and I had this forever as well, and I think this came from my either 50 or 100 pound ThredUp box, maybe the 50 pound one. This was this Ray Dunn Dreams shirt, just a sleep shirt in gray. This sold for $15 and I make a profit of $9 on this, and I got really nice feedback, so that's always a good thing. Not that it really matters on Poshmark what people write or how many stars they give you, but it's still nice to get a little bit of positive feedback every once in a while. Then I sold another item from my scrap fabric box. I mean, not a bad box, gotta be honest. This unbranded dress in this sort of beige with gold embroidery, beading, all kinds of embellishments. I mean, it was very like delicate and pretty. That's why I listed it, even though it was unbranded. A-line, just floral dress. It was in a size extra large, but I think that was Asian sizing because it was fairly small for that. And I indicated that in the listing. I thought I was going to get this back, but so far so good. It sold on the 19th, so I'm hoping I'm not jinxing myself. It sold on eBay, so technically they have another 9 days to return it, but I hope not. I haven't checked if I got feedback on it or not. It sold for $24.99. There was some back and forth with negotiations, but I think what I did with this one ultimately when I countered was, okay, this is the lowest I want to go, but as soon as you accept and pay the invoice, I will ship it out the very next business day, and you'll have it within a few days. So I don't know if that worked in sealing the deal, but I'm trying to add a little bit more of a personal touch when I counter on eBay, because you do have the option of including a message. So I think it's been working out fine, but it remains to be seen. So it sold for $24.99 and I make a profit of $19.19 on this. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure with this fabric box, because it's relatively affordable, it's like $30-something, including shipping, I think I already made my money back on that and maybe even a little profit. Next up, I sold an item I got from Glama's Closet. I bought a box of primarily men's clothing, but also some children's clothing in there on one of her Classy Crap auctions last year, and she had put in this Packers kids jacket, zip-up jacket hoodie, and it's sold on eBay for $17.99, and I make a profit of $11.49 on this one, so thank you for that, Glama. I appreciate you. I do occasionally shop from, you know, fellow sellers and friends on YouTube or on auctions, but really I'm not big on the whole live sale thing. But that's just a personal preference, and I know a lot of people who source on Whatnot and have really good luck with that. I'm just not really that interested in that, but I think it's definitely an avenue worth checking out. I personally, again, as I mentioned, like to, among other places, source on ThredUp, and this next sale was really exciting because this item came from my 50-pound ThredUp box last year, and it is the Amazon jacket. If you've never heard of the Amazon jacket, it's this brand. The brand is Orolay, and it's this thick, heavy down jacket. This one was in olive green with a hood, and it's really warm, and everybody loves it. It's like one of those Amazon blogger favorites, whatever. I slapped all those keywords in there. I think I had it listed for $85, and it's sold on an offer to Liker that I sent on $75 for $75, and I make $56.28. So that one jacket paid for like a third of that box, and I already made so many good sales from that box that I'm well in the green on that one. That one sold on Poshmark as well, in case I forgot to mention it. Usually when I forget to mention where something sells, it's sold on Poshmark. Because for what it's worth, I still consider it my main platform, even though she doesn't always treat me well. Another item that sold, this one sold on eBay, after being listed for a bazillion years, was this little toddler girl hot pink rain jacket with a hoodie, because it's a rain jacket, of course it has a hoodie, that I got from the bins way back when in Virginia, and this sold for $15 on eBay. The brand is Misty Harbor, I believe. It was just cute, that's why I picked it up. I make a profit of $11, but I had it forever, so kids clothing is tricky for me. I tend to not pick it up anymore unless it's really just too adorable to leave behind. Another exciting sale I had on eBay was this set, this Torrid curve new attack black satin bow bra and panty set. I retail arbitraged this from Torrid at some point. I bought both pieces separately, but they were the same size, so I listed them as a set. It was in a 1X, and it sold for $55, which was my full asking price. I did have $16 into this because it was retail arbitrage, and because each piece cost me about $8 when I shopped from Torrid at that time. Half of these pieces were for reselling, the other half was for myself to keep, so I got a lot of cool items out of that, and because I've been selling the other items, that basically paid for the clothing that I kept for myself. So every once in a while I like to do that. So my profit on this is $28, very happy with it. It was new with tags, like I said, in the bag, so maybe somebody bought this for Valentine's Day, I don't know, but it's a really cute set. I'm really happy that this sold for full price. The next item that I sold, I'm not going to include in my calculations because it's coming back to me. It's a Cacique new with tag invisible back smoother bra that's lightly lined. I got this from the regular thrift store, just on a regular day. It cost me $4. It would have made me a profit of $13.99, but it's getting returned to me, so we're just not gonna talk about her anymore. Okay, next up we got, to stick with the bra theme, we got a Victoria's Secret Best Kept Secret bra top with this whole like silverish sequin embellishment. It was out there. It's very 90s, Y2K, and I got it, where did I get this? Oh, I got this at Dollar Day, but it was just $1. That was, I think that was the haul where I really only picked up items that were $1, so my cost of goods was $1. This sold for $18.99 on eBay, and I make a profit of $14.59 on this one. Alright, we're nearing the end of the month. We're up to the 25th of January now. On the 25th, I sold this exclusively Miss Sook casual black knit pull-on ankle pant, like acrylic blend pant. This came from the bins. It did not have a size. The size tag was washed out, but you could tell there was like an X written on it. Very weird. Measurements kind of agreed with it being like an extra large to 1X, so I listed it as an extra large, included measurements, mentioned that the size is not on there anymore, and it sold anyway, and relatively quickly too. This was listed for 4 days only. It was an offer on eBay that I probably send out for $29.99, and I make a profit of $22.49 because again, it came from the bins. So exclusively Miss Zook is a brand that retails very high, and it has no business retailing that high. It's like acrylic blend knit tops and things. I don't understand why it's so expensive, but if I find it at the bins and it's in good shape, I'll likely pick it up, and this one sold faster than I expected, so happy with that. Then I have a sale, 2 sales on Mercari. Okay, this was a little bit, I don't want to say sad, but Mercari has been glitching all over the place for me, and it's either been a Mercari glitch or it was an issue with the person. I can't fully say either way, but basically what happened was she wanted to purchase 2 bras from me, and I told her she can bundle them, she can add them to cart, just check out as a bundle, and I would send her an offer, or she would send me an offer, because Mercari does have that bundle option now. So we tried that, and every time I tried to accept her offer, it said the transaction failed because of her payment method, and it was declined. And I communicated with her, she said she updated it, it was still not working, and I don't know, maybe she was just not having the right card in front of her, I have no idea, but because Mercari has been so glitchy lately, I'm gonna say it was a Mercari issue. Luckily for me, she did really want these 2 bras, and honestly, what I just could have done had I had more just time, or had I been on my phone the entire time as this went down, I could have just dropped the price on both to reflect the bundle price she was sending me, but she ended up purchasing both bras for full price, and I felt a little bad, and I meant to include something in that package and I totally forgot. So anyway, if you're out there, thank you so much for your purchase. So I sold 2 Torrid bras. They're the exact same bra, just in a different color. One is this dusty rose color, and then the other one's black. They were in the same size, and those were 2 of the bras that I picked up from Dollar Day and then forgot about them in a bag upstairs. Each bra sold for $29. I did combine the shipping on those, so I shipped them out together in one poly mailer, like a padded poly mailer, and I make a profit of $19.36 on each of these 2 bras. So really good sale for me. Again, I feel bad because she would have saved a little bit of money had this whole bundle deal worked out. Honestly, I do blame Mercari. I don't know. I mean, there's always user error, but I don't know. But my Mercari sales were pretty good this month, so maybe I shouldn't complain too much. Another item that sold on eBay that I got from the bins, and this sold on an offer, was this Marciano pleated lamp leather mini skirt. I thought this would be something more expensive than it actually was, but it sold for 25 bucks on eBay. That was an offer I received. I think I had it listed for 40, but it's from the bins. Again, sales beget sales. You know, you do your best. I make a profit of $18.75 on this, and it was only listed for a little over 2 weeks. So I will pick a quick flip with a slightly lower profit over a, higher profit, and I have the item for 2 years, especially when it's something where I'm taking a chance, where I'm experimenting, where I don't really know how this brand or item is going to perform. Yeah, I'll take an offer. Then I made a sale on Depop, and it's sad because I had this teacher-themed vintage button-down shirt forever, and I swear it's still in my house somewhere, but I cannot find it. I don't know what happened. I recently redid some of my inventory, and I could swear I saw it then. I put it in the correct bin. It's not there. So this sold on Depop, but I had to cancel the order, refund the buyer, message her. I felt really bad because I've had this for so long, and she actually sent me an offer for like 20 bucks on it, which would have been better than what I most recently had it listed as on my other platforms. But again, I couldn't find it, so I'm not making any money off this because I don't know where it is. But she did ask, if you ever find it, just let me know. And I said, absolutely, I will. It's going to be yours. I'm probably going to sell it to her for a lower price. So fingers crossed I still find this somewhere, but yeah, it happens. More of a success story is this next item, this Lululemon On The Fly pant in the 7/8 length. That one sold on eBay for full price for $60, and I make a profit of $46.40. This came from a ThredUp Active Brands box, and I'm really excited for this one. I was really excited to pull it out of the box, and I'm even more excited because my most recent Active Brand box that I unboxed on this channel had 3 of these. I'm German, so I do 3 like this. Here. For the Americans, 3. It had 3 of these On The Fly pants. So if they all sell for $60, even if they all sell for $40 or $50, I will be a very happy camper. All right, guys, we're almost done with January. That I sold more than I remembered. Also on the 29th, I sold this Torrid Green Surplice Gauze Baby Doll tunic top that I thought was a dress when I picked it up from the thrift, and they thought it was a dress too because they had it hanging with the dresses and they had it priced like it was a dress. So I remember paying up for this a little bit, but average cost of goods that day was $4. So partially because of this dress. And so my profit on this is $13.30. It sold for $20 on eBay. They took their sweet time paying for it, but they did eventually. So I'm happy with that. And then another really good sale in January was this pair of Black Hunter rain boots, the original tall boot in a size 10. These came from the bins. My bins here in New Jersey, no less. And these sold on Poshmark for $80, full price sale. And I get $62 on these after cost of goods and shipping and all of that. Shipping, I didn't have any expenses because they sold on Poshmark. And hallelujah that they sold on Poshmark, because the last thing I want to do is ship a big old pair of Hunter boots in a box on eBay where it costs $1 bazillion of shipping. Like, no, I was so glad I could put these in, I think I had to Frankenbox it, but 2 priority boxes together. The ones that are not the flat rate, do not Frankenbox flat rate boxes. You can't do that. But I had to combine 2 boxes and they arrived and I got my rating and everything's good. And I got my $62. So very happy with that one. Okay, I think we have like 1 or 2 sales left. 1. Okay, last sale of the month of January was this pair of Athleta Ultra High Rise Elation running tights in a dark navy. These came from the regular thrift, I want to say. I have a cost of goods of $4, so something like that. You know what? Actually, they may have been from one of my ThredUp boxes. Yes, they were from an active brand ThredUp box, and the reason my cost of goods is slightly higher on these compared to other boxes is because I was still paying for shipping at the time. So $4 into these. They sold for $25 on Poshmark. That was an offer I received, I want to say, and my profit is $16 on these. Plus size Athleta, always yes. Okay, so let's look at my stats for the month and then wrap this up, and then I hope I can edit it down because it's getting really long and my voice is failing me. So I will include some pictures somewhere over here of my stats for the month of January. Overall, I sold more items in January than I did last December. I sold 43 items total. That includes the return and also the item I couldn't find, but again, I'm taking it out of the total, the money that I didn't make on them. I listed slightly less items than I did in December. I listed 54 total, and my average sales price was up and higher than it was in December. It was $26.25. Now, my total revenue across all my platforms was $1,128.94. After all the fees, cost of goods, all of that, all of those shenanigans, I make a total profit of $743.26. I'm generally speaking not happy with that. I mean, I'm grateful to have another $740, but I'm not happy with it because I still yearn for those 2021, numbers and sales when I had consistently over $1,000 in net profit. And I do want to get back to that. One of my big goals for this year is to have more months with a $1,000 or higher net profit than months where I don't have that profit. So at least half the months of the year, at least 6 months this year, I can't talk, at least for 6 months, ideally more, of this year, I want to make more than $1,000 in net profit. And I'm really trying to work on that to improve my listing speed and just consistency and being on it more. I'm participating in Becky Park's February listing challenge where we tackle our death piles, and I'm also relisting a lot of items for this challenge so that I can just keep this momentum going. Hopefully sell more items in February, even though February is a very short month and it's kind of tricky to make a good chunk of money then. But so far so good. I did have some really good sales, as you saw, of items that just sold for a lot more money, and if I could pick and choose, I would sell less items but sell them for more. But of course it doesn't always work like that. So In the meantime, I will keep doing what I'm doing. You guys can hold me accountable in the comments, on Instagram, wherever, on my listing live. I do hope that you will stick around and join me on this journey and contribute your own experiences to this journey. And you can find me again on Instagram and of course here on YouTube. Hit the like button if you learned something today, if you maybe learned something about a new brand. And also please do subscribe and hit that bell notification. That way you will always be notified when I have a new video coming out, which right now is about twice a week. And you'll also be notified when I have a live, which is every other Thursday at 9:30 Eastern here on this channel, and we relist or just list or photograph or steam or do whatever we need to do. Or you can also just come and relax. Either way, everybody's welcome. You just come as you are and you have a good time. I will see you guys very soon in another video. Bis dann. Tschüss.